What's going on? This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show. And today we locked down the 6th seed in the playoffs. Now we got to see what happens with the Rams. If they lose, they fall to the 4th seed, I think. But if they win, they go to the 3rd seed. And for them, it's no incentive to actually win the game and end up in the 3rd slot. But we'll definitely see Tampa Bay comes back and wins against the Saints. I think Atlanta and Carolina was still going on, but the playoff ramifications were done with Atlanta once Tampa Bay won. And Green Bay loses Jordan Love early, and Malik Willis, like he showed early in the season, came in and was competent enough to bring them back, only for Chicago to rip it from them at the final 2 seconds of the game by kicking a game-winning field goal. That's their first win since they played us and lost when we did the Hail Mary. So, again, very phenomenal closeout to the season. This was some real jockeying for some playoff spots. I told you that was going to happen. We are now solidly in the 6th spot. Green Bay is in the 7th spot. So right now, again, like I said, Tampa Bay is in, and everything will fall in the line once the Rams game is complete. Should they win or lose, we'll find out what happens and who's going to be playing who. And a lot of teams are going to want to avoid the spot where they might have to play either Detroit or Minnesota, because the final game of the week, this Sunday night game, is a big game, and it's between Minnesota and Detroit. And we're going to see which team is going to take that bye and which team is going to end up in the playoffs and trying to fight their way through the playoffs. Washington did a fantastic job. Captain Clutch Terry McLaurin comes through in the 4th quarter when you really need him to, and again shows that it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, he's going to do what he has to do to help the team win the game. You're talking about 13 receptions in the season, the record for the franchise, which is phenomenal. And again, we're talking about Terry being the All-Pro this year. He should be. I know he's not going to get first team All-Pro, but he'll definitely, more than likely, he should get second team All-Pro. So we got our guys in. Again, a little worried early in the game, especially when they talked about that Jaden went into the tent and all that type of stuff. It was one of those things where, like I said early, like when I said my preview show, I said, let's let all the guys rest. Let them get ready for the playoffs. It seems like we all came out a little less uninjured, even though we got to find out what's going on with Brandon Coleman to see what his little nick was or injury was to make sure that he's straight. But fantastic game by Mariota. Mariota came in and started leading the team down the field to score and score often. And that is what we needed, especially when you're talking about this Dallas game. Again, seals the game on a touchdown. Just last week, we sealed the game on a touchdown against Atlanta. And here we are again against Dallas, sealing the game again with a touchdown. Our offense is really good, really, really legit. We see the passion from our coaches on the sidelines. We don't see any arms crossed or anything like that. Good. I know everybody talked about his clock management last week. This week, he actually, Dan Quinn did a phenomenal job with his clock management this week and preserving his timeouts. Preserving the timeouts and using them when they needed to be used instead of holding on to them. So again, like I said, fantastic game. Glad we won it. 12 wins. 12, y'all. We got 12 wins in the season. It's so crazy how early on, before the season even started, there was no thought that we would get this far in year one. Jaden Daniels, Dan Quinn, Cliff Kingsbury, Adam Peters, and all the new players that came in did a really remarkable job in making this team better. Josh Harris as well. I mean, coming in as the new owner, that really set up there and changed a lot of stuff, changed the outcome of the franchise, and from how all things look, changed the history of this franchise from now on. We've had 20-something years of just downtrodden, browbeaten losing. And now here we are on the winning side of it, and it feels good to see our team do well. Do very well at that. And we're going into the playoffs. We're playing bonus ball, y'all. Like I said in the when we went to when the bye week came around, and I had to apologize for not doing the videos during the bye week because it was all about off-season stuff. And it's like, yo, no, we're still relevant at this point. We still got football to play. So I didn't want to focus on all-season stuff, being as though we were still a team with the opportunity to win it. We won all 4 of our games down the stretch, which is something I said we had to do, and it was accomplished. You're talking about, we've seen the massive exodus of all of Ron's draft picks and players and everything like that. Even though I was still a big Phil fan, I can't get mad at the fact that we are still successful even with extracting a lot of the players. St. Juice, oh man. we don't know who like. The opposite side of Mikey Sanderstill is just so crazy. I mean, because it's like, if it's not St. Juice with the penalty, if somehow Mike Davis comes up with a penalty. Mike Davis also got in the way of Jamison Crowder for him to muffle the punt. So, those two guys, man, I don't even know what to say about those two guys. Maybe converting them to safeties would be better, because at corner, they are just horrendous cornerbacks, man. Oh, man, but again, excited that Washington actually succeeded. Like I said, again, the team does look a little different. Brian Robinson is in his head, everybody. Like, I need everybody to understand it's not that he's performing badly. It's the fact that he's in his head. And we need to there needs to be, like, the coaches need to find ways to get him out of his head, because right now he's running, but he's not using his vision like he usually uses his vision. And I think a lot of that is because now he's pressing versus letting things open up for him. So he has to get out of his head. Anthony Lynn hopefully will help him with that, but he has to get out of his head, because right now what he's doing is he's pressing. He's not using his vision to really see the holes and find the holes, or even kick it outside if need be. Right now he's just in a funk right now, and hopefully he can get out of it before the playoffs start, because that's what's holding him back. That's why you're seeing him sit up there and not seem as effective. It's not because they're stopping him. It's because right now he's trying to press it and he's not seeing the holes. So again, fantastic game. Like I said, Daniels, yeah, he didn't look sharp. He didn't look great, but you know, I felt he shouldn't have been playing. I said this should have been a Marcus Mariota game, and it was a Marcus Mariota game. Next thing you know, Marcus Mariota comes in, and OZ can now catch the ball. Terry can catch the ball. So Jaden's going to have to figure out what he's doing that is making it difficult for the receivers to catch these balls, because that's what she said, pause. To have these receivers catch these passes, because at the end of the day, we're seeing something where the receivers are open and they're being hit in the hands, or something is going on. Either the passes are too sharp when they're coming into the receiver's hands, or there's something going on that is making these misses happen so often. So we have to see what's going on with that. Hopefully, whatever's going on, practice will assist with that, and it will make it better. Because there were several plays where Jaden either lost the ball and they missed it, he threw the ball hard, they missed it, or he threw it too far ahead of him, ahead of the receiver. So we have to see him really sit up there and get back on the same page with these receivers, because right now they don't look as sharp with him in the game. But like I said, Mariota came in, they started catching the ball. Next thing you know, again, closed the game out with a game-sealing touchdown, just like they did the week before, game-sealing touchdown. And we are locked in as the 6th seed. Like I said, Green Bay lost. They also, Jordan Love went out in the game. I think that was more, they say he got injured, but I think it was more safety precaution. He got hit. I think they were like, okay, your day is done. Come on, sit down. So now we just have to wait for the Rams game. See where the Rams come in, because, again, it could be us playing the Rams or it could be us playing Tampa Bay. Not really certain yet, but we'll definitely see what happens. And it's going to be something, y'all. I mean, it is something. So, like I said, very successful season this year. I mean, this is not like this isn't the 2020 season where we backdoored into the playoffs and it was like, did we really make the playoffs or did COVID help us make the playoffs? You know, and the fact that we're past that now, the fact that we're in a season where it was very successful. I mean, we finally found our quarterback. Like, do you understand how difficult that is to deal with something that is unusual for us right now? We finally have found our quarterback after years upon years upon years of searching it. Understand, like, we drafted Patrick Ramsey, Jason Campbell, my man from Hawaii, can't remember his name. We drafted, I think it was Jordan Palmer. I think we drafted Jordan Palmer, Carson Palmer's brother. We sat up there and we just drafted over and over Dwayne Haskins, RG3, Kirk Cousins. Like, we just kept drafting these guys and kept drafting and kept drafting. I forgot the guy that we got from Tulane. I mean, not Tulane. I think he played in I think it was Houston in 03. But I mean, it's just the thing of like we've been drafting all this time and getting free agents and all this type of stuff. Finally, we got a guy that makes us feel better. Even Sam Howell. I forgot about Sam Howell. But yeah, Sam Howell too. And finally, we've locked in on a guy that can take us into the next several years, hopefully 12 to 13 to 14 years, and with us having some level of success. Jaden has marked off all the boxes we were looking for. Remember early, like for me, when it comes to quarterbacks, especially rookie ones, there's certain boxes they have to tick. Their first 100-yard game, their first 200-yard game, their first 300-yard game. Then at that point, you start looking at other things. Their first touchdown, their first 2-game touchdown, their first 3-game touchdown. You know, like then you keep moving forward. Okay, their first 25-yard rushing game, their first 50-yard rushing game, their first 70-yard rushing game, then their first 100-yard rushing game. And this season, Jaden Daniels ticked every single box you could imagine, even to the point where I feel that he should be in the voting for MVP, league MVP. I mean, again, if Josh Allen is being considered, and you're talking about Jaden Daniels' numbers are pretty much almost identical to Josh Allen. If Josh Allen has an opportunity to be the league MVP, then why shouldn't Jaden be given that opportunity to be the league MVP as well, or be voted as league MVP? I personally think that nobody has performed better this season than Lamar Jackson, and I'm talking about performed better. stats-wise, games-wise, everything. Because remember, early in the season, they were struggling. And they hammered it out. But, again, Jaden has done it all for us. We were a team that I said that I felt that we weren't going to win more than 7 games. Vegas had us at 5 to 6 games. A lot of people, there's some people that say, well, we had them at double-digit wins. But those are people who always had a team at double-digit wins. But the fact that we actually had a very successful season, we did not see this season coming. We did not, and understand this, we also had a fantastic record at the Fed Trap. Like, I started calling it the trap after the Carolina game because people was calling the Carolina game a trap. In reality, FedEx has been a trap for teams. Like I said, when you think about it, Pittsburgh eked out, like they struggled, but they got out of here, out of the trap. And Dallas squeaked their way out of the trap. But everybody else, we've beaten at the trap. Nobody has been able to escape the trap. So, I mean, again, like I said, we had 2 teams that was able to do it, but it was a struggle for them to escape. So now you're talking about the Fed Trap is now, again, a home field advantage for our team. Yeah, I guess we probably won't be playing there unless somehow Green Bay beats a team that wasn't supposed to be beat and we see Green Bay. But other than that, this was a fantastic season. Absolutely fantastic season. There are things that we will have to do in the off season, but right now, to hell with that. We're at bonus football. We have had a very successful season. And I'm not going to lie, I am absolutely happy about it. Absolutely happy about it. And I need y'all to tell me how y'all feel. How do y'all feel about this, how this whole season went? The fact that a lot of us were down on this season. A lot of us really thought that there was no way this team was going to win we're going to win double-digit games. Even to the point where some people was like, man, I mean, the closest we'll get to double digits is 9 wins. But the fact that we accomplished that and got 12 wins on the season, and not only that, saw our quarterback do it, saw our superstar receiver, Captain Clutch, Terry McLaurin, come up big when everybody was calling him not elite. He showed everybody that, no, not only am I elite, I'm clutch. Man, feels good. It feels good to feel this type of excitement again. We are the Commanders. We are the Commanders. And now we're going to have new fans, younger fans, that are going to be Commanders fans. And that's what matters the most. The fact that the area has its team winning again. I don't give a damn about the name. We are the Commanders. And as y'all see, we're actually being able, now that we've changed the name to the Commanders, we're seeing our team on stuff that we normally weren't seeing our team on. National campaigns and things like that. We might actually get the opportunity to actually be featured on Hard Knocks for once. We've never been featured on Hard Knocks at all. Now we may have that opportunity. Y'all tell me what y'all think. How do y'all feel about this season? How do y'all feel about what happened in the season? Just to get this excitement of playoff football again and the possibility that we could win in the playoffs. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. Other than that, this has been your man, John Fortune, after a very successful Commander season. And this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.